How is it going, everyone? We have yet another PlayStation Store sale to go over in this video. Yes, alongside the Ready Set Play sale, alongside the Indies sale that are running right now, we have a weekend offer sale. Now, the weekend offer sales are always a smaller sale, and sometimes it's a bit of a mixed bag in the sense that sometimes the weekend offer sales are straight terrible. It's like PGA Tour 2K23 and a bunch of GTA Shark cards will go on sale. And sometimes you have a banger sale, even if it's smaller, there's some really notable stuff that is discounted. You'll get some sleeper historic lows in there. And that's what we have this time around. It is a smaller sale. The weekend offer sale is always going to be smaller. However, there's some really good stuff that's discounted based on what I can see. And there's one really notable historic low that I've already seen. So we'll go over all of those deals, and again, some pretty good stuff across the board, I would say. I have it filtered via full game bundles, and premium edition, so we eliminate the DLC. Just north of 100 deals, but again, some pretty good stuff. So let's get right into it. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is 30% off for $49. Just a little bit too pricey, my mans. Bandai Namco, you know, y'all with your anime games, they tend to hold up in price for quite a while. Now, I can see why Sparking Zero holds up in price. Obviously, it had an immense amount of buzz leading into its release, but a lot of that buzz has dissipated at this point. I still had a great time out of Sparking Zero. The single player component had a decent bit of content, and dudes, I was like, for me going into the release of Sparking Zero, it was feeding my nostalgia. You know, I was never gonna look at that game for being a game that had a ton of longevity and people were gonna be in the online and going competitive. Like, bro, y'all can take your Yajirobe and you can keep him. I know they nerfed him, but still, y'all can keep your Yajirobe and you can chill on that. But I had a lot of fun with it, and it's one of those games that if I have buddies over and we just want to have a decent time playing Tenkaichi 4, Sparking Zero will pop it in, and Dragon Ball is an iconic franchise to me, so obviously I had a good time with it. But I would say at this stage of the game, wait for it to be like $30 or so, or even the Ultimate Edition, which is 30% off for $77 here. Again, that's a vomit-inducing price point to me at this stage of the game. I would just say wait for it to be quite a bit cheaper. Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition is $28. Mortal Kombat X is $4.99. You got Mafia 3 and Mafia 2, $5.99 a pop on those. I usually recommend to get the Mafia Trilogy Pack, but if you want to only get one of those games, Mafia 2 is great, so I will say that. Mafia 2 is an awesome, awesome game, and Mafia 3 is not bad. It's just the open-world approach with Mafia 3 really did take away from the experience rather than enhancing it, but it is what it is. Red Dead Redemption 2 Ultimate Edition is $19.99. There's really nothing to write home about as far as the Ultimate Edition goes, but there is exclusive story mode content, bank robbery mission, and gang hideout, dappled black thoroughbred, talisman and medallion, gameplay bonuses, gameplay boost, cash bonuses, and discount, and the Nuevo Paraso gunslinger outfit. So you'll get that. If you want to spend the extra $5, the base game is $14.99 right now. I would probably just get the base game. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, the base game is $17.49. Look, I know, I feel like I've been a little bit too kind to Ubisoft recently, been talking them up a little bit. Listen, I crap on the newer Assassin's Creed games all the time, but when they get to the right price point, I'm like, okay, this is the price point to pick these games up. Yeah, I'll clown Avatar Frontiers of Pandora's Ultimate Edition for having a base price of $130, and right now it is on sale for $32.49, but the base game for $17.50 with the third-person update coming out, with the updates coming out in December, you know, might be something to look at. Personally, if you got a PlayStation with a disc drive, I would wait until Black Friday, see if you can snipe like maybe a potential like $12.99, dare I say $9.99 deal. Could that be something we see? I don't know, Black Friday is sometimes a little wild, but I would wait a little bit and you could potentially get it for a really, really low price. So that's my 2 cents on that. Need for Speed Heat is $5.99. Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, how about that? That's $4.99. Obviously, a lot of buzz, a lot of attention around the new Lego Batman game that is going to be coming out in 2026. Has instantly shot up to one of my more anticipated games of 2026. But, yeah, $4.99 on that. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is $9, while the Odyssey Ultimate Edition is $17.99, which I think that's a really good deal. The wide variety of Assassin's Creed's Odyssey editions are on sale right now. Actually, all of them. The Deluxe Edition is $11.99. You really want to go with the Gold Edition or the Ultimate Edition because that includes AC3 remastered as well and the Season Pass with the story expansion. So, you know, think that's a pretty good deal given all the content that you're getting. So, good shout there, even if I personally don't really love love the game. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands is $7.49. The Ultimate Edition of that is $17.99. Need for Speed Payback is $6. Kingdom Come Deliverance is $6. You should get the Royal Edition of that, which is on sale right now as well. I believe for $7.99, you'll get the DLC as well. KCD is one of those games that you really gotta know what you're getting yourself into. There's no PlayStation 5 upgrade on that. It's a little bit dated. It's a little bit clunky, to say the least. But, you know, the historical theme, I think, is phenomenal in that game, and KCD 2 really did improve it from a mechanics standpoint, so there you go with that GTA 5 Premium Edition, and you got the shark cards, baby. Shark card. I feel like the shark cards are always fiending during the weekend offer sale. You seem to see that pretty regularly. I guess people get on their weekend, and what a better way to spend the weekend than go on the weekend offer. Oh my god, shark cards are on sale? I gotta get all of those. But yeah, 2024 on that. If you want to pick GTA Online up, you can get that for $9.99. I'm telling you, get GTA 5. Obviously, it's a great game, but just get the full game for $19.79, which is available right now, the cross-gen bundle. So there you go with that. Mad Max is $4.99, which is always a pretty good pickup. You got Gotham Knights Deluxe, $13.49 on that. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake is already hitting the bargain bin at $7.99. Game that really didn't need a remake, but whatever. Red Dead 1 and 2, the bundle, $45 on that. Primarily, the price point comes from Red Dead 1. That is still going for $30, so, you know, it is what it is. Far Cry Primal is $4.49. Excellent deal there. That was available recently as well, but that's an excellent, excellent discount. I like the setting shift of Far Cry Primal. It is still, through and through, a Far Cry game. You can tell that the essence of Far Cry is still absolutely there, but, you know, the setting shift at that time, I think people were a little bit burned out after Far Cry 3 and 4 back-to-back, that Primal was a nice change of pace, and for $4.49, pretty good deal there. Final Fantasy, the Pixel Remastered Bundle, that's FF1 through 6, remastered, $48.74, 35% off. FF4 and 6 are obviously goated. Get the other games there as well that, you know, you'll like to varying degrees, I feel. Lego City Undercover is $5.09. Batman Arkham Knight, the base game, is $4.99. You should either get the Saga Collection or Arkham Knight, the Premium Edition. As far as that's concerned, the Division 2 Gold Edition is $21. I'd have to think that includes the New York DLC, right? Yeah, Warlords of New York and Battle for Brooklyn DLC is available on that. The Ultimate Edition is on sale as a part of the Ready Set Play sale. That is $31.49. Apparently, Division 2 gonna continue to get content updates, so hey, more power to them on that. What else we got? Dirt Rally 2.0, $15. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown for $30. That game was atrocious in my opinion, but nonetheless, it is on sale. Hogwarts Legacy Digital Deluxe Edition, $16. Just get the base game. The Digital Deluxe Edition is useless. SnowRunner is $19.99. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens is $4.99. Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered, really wanted to highlight that deal at $4.49. That is an excellent, excellent deal for a super underrated Assassin's Creed game. If you don't know the story around this, Assassin's Creed Rogue came out back in 2014 on the same day that Assassin's Creed Unity came out. Unity got the bulk of the attention. How they structured it was Assassin's Creed Rogue was, at that time, the last generation version of Assassin's Creed, so it was released on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Unity was the next-gen title on PS4 and Xbox One. Unity ended up being a technical disaster. A lot of people didn't end up checking out Rogue, but it got remastered and more people have played it, and it's one of the better Assassin's Creed games. It takes the naval combat from AC4, evolves it a little bit. You've got a great main character, a compelling story in there as well. For $4.49, I think Rogue is an awesome deal. Definitely recommend that, and y'all know I'm a sucker for the throwback Assassin's Creed games, you know, pre-Origin, so obviously gotta give that a shout. Metro Redux is $4.49. You've got Star Wars Outlaws, the Gold Edition, $50 on that, $49.49 I should say. Still just way too expensive. The price point that I would recommend the Gold Edition of Outlaws is around $30. I think around $30 it's a really good pickup, and I do think in 5 to 10 years people are going to look back at the game and be like, hey, that game wasn't that bad, but now is not the time for that to happen at $50. It's just not, but it is what it is. Atlas Fallen Reign of Sand, $19.99. One of my close friends, we joke around because he loves Atlas Fallen, and I constantly say that he's the only fan of Atlas Fallen on planet Earth, but like, his fandom for Atlas Fallen is so ridiculous that it's like he acknowledges that the game is fairly mediocre, maybe average, slightly above average, you know, from his vantage point, but he just can't figure out why he loves the game so much. It does have some cool traversal mechanics, and they did this Reign of Sand update that was a significant update to the game, and they dropped it for free, so shout out to them on that. But $19.99 is a bit too pricey. Once it's down to maybe $7.99, I think it's a decent pickup. It is on Plus Extra, so you can play it that way, but there you go with that. Session Skate Sim is $9.99 if you're looking for something of the skateboarding ilk and you don't want to check out the free-to-play skate title. You know, you can check out Session. Ghostwire Tokyo, 75% off for $14.99. One of the few games that we have a full review on, and Bethesda gave me a copy of the game early, and I went in on doing the review of the game. You can look it up. It's like an 18-minute breakdown of this game. Reviews are not in my wheelhouse. There are far more better content creators that can do lengthy reviews, but I really enjoyed Ghostwire Tokyo. I thought it was a good game from a narrative standpoint. It started off incredibly compelling. Unfortunately, the second half of the game and towards the end, they really fumbled the bag, in my opinion. The atmosphere in the game is great, the gameplay is really solid, and you do have a good bit of content. It is set in this open world. However, if you rush through the main story, it's fairly quick. You can complete that in, like, probably 12 hours, maybe a little bit longer than that, but there's optional content that isn't blowaway, but you can do all that if you want. I think from a visual standpoint, it's great. Sound design is great, and for $15, I do think it's a decent pickup. You've got the Hazelight bundle with It Takes Two and A Way Out for $19.79. Dying Light, the True Survivors bundle, that's Dying Light 1 Enhanced and Dying Light 2 for $29.69. Not a bad deal there. Middle Earth, the Shadow bundle, $6.99 on that is great with Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Obviously, you know, $7 on that is a bargain. RIP Monolith, of course. Raven's Watch Legendary Edition is $24. The Crew 2 Gold Edition is $9.99. We do have an offline component for that game rolling out, so, you know, it is what it is. They should have done it with the Crew 1, but better late than never in getting it done with the Crew 2. Scribblenauts Mega Pack, $5.99 on that. Quarry Deluxe Edition is $11.99. Plague Tale Bundle is $32. Assassin's Creed Syndicate Gold Edition is $7.49. I do believe that's a historic low for Syndicate Gold as well. That's an awesome deal given that you get the DLC and it runs at 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 5, I should say. That's a great deal. Highly recommend that with the DLC. Syndicate itself is a fantastic game. Highly recommend that. Didn't even know that was at that good of a price, so definitely give that a look. Doom Anthology is $28. Assassin's Creed Valhalla Ragnarok Edition is $19.99. That's actually not that bad. You get Valhalla and the Ragnarok DLC. You don't get the other DLC content, so keep that in mind, but decent pickup, if nothing else. I hated Valhalla as a game, just narratively, and Ivor as a character is a total charisma vacuum, but nonetheless, $19.99 on that. Immortals of Aveum is $10.49, which that game had some of the worst voice acting and characters I've ever seen in a video game. Ivor tier bad, honestly. Maybe even worse than Ivor, and I think Ivor is pretty terrible. But the gameplay in Immortals of Aveum is actually pretty solid and enjoyable. If they stripped away the story and the terrible characters and just kept it focused on the gameplay, I actually think that would have been a well-received game, but it is what it is. Metro Exodus base game is $4.49. Riders Republic Skate Edition is $6. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah, like, I enjoyed Riders Republic. Like, it's a game that I could boot up and have a decent time messing around with it. Is it something I get super invested into, you know, and follow it every season? No, but you know, as a game to jump in here and there when you're a little bored or you want to listen to a podcast at the same time, I think it's a decent shout. RoboCop Rogue City Alex Murphy Edition is $10.49. I think the base game's actually $15 right now, so yeah, get the Alex Murphy Edition, $10.49 on that. Great deal there. King of Fighters 15 is $9.99. Marvel's Midnight Suns is on sale. Assassin's Creed Origins Gold Edition for $9.99. Great deal there as well. Euden Chronicle Rising for $4.49, and you got Unravel, the Yarny bundle at $7.49, Octopath Traveler 2 at $24. Definitely some good stuff here. I get the weekend offer sale is a smaller sale, but there's certainly some really good deals here, so check them out for yourself. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.